All right, we're back with the Fantasy Critic video game Fantasy Critic thing. I don't know what it's called. We're going to do this, talk about our most anticipated games for the rest of the year. The Summer Games Fest, Jeff Keighley, fake E3 season is over, so we pretty much have a good idea of what's coming out. So we're going to just jump right back into this. You guys want to introduce yourselves again?
Yep, this is Sky85,
Beloved
famous
Monster Hunter
YouTube
YouTuber.
channel. Heck yeah.
Yeah, and I'm Clardonix, a video game developer.
All right. So we're going to do things a little bit differently than I think a lot of people do this. We don't want to bother with the bidding. So we're going to do the kind of same thing with a snake draft, not worry about the money and the bidding and stuff, and just fill out the rest of our list. It probably is not going to come through on the video, but we'll make sure we have our lists and we'll make it clear. So we're going to continue the snake draft, start with Clardonix. But in a minute, I thought we would go over our games, our lists so far and how they're doing. So I'll let him start first of how his list was before he makes his first pick.
Okay, well, I've kind of accepted that I'll probably get last place here because I chose a bunch of indie games, and some of them might not even come out. But
Yeah.
I only had 2 games come out since the last time we did this, and they actually were received decently well.
Yeah, it ended up pretty well.
So, I guess I'm going to keep going with that strategy. And, honestly, I'm just kind of using this now as a way to just keep track of games I want to play eventually. So, a little bonus, but,
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good list. There's some good titles on here. Hollow Knight Silk Song is a little bit rough because who knows if it's even going to come out this year. But, I mean, if you get that, that's an easy 90, probably. So, I mean, I think you have a strategy and you've done well. But currently your counter pick of Star Wars Jedi Survivor did not work out very well, losing you 14 points. But it happens. We're going to fill out the rest of those counter picks too. So you have 9 points. My fake publisher, has had a very mixed bag go at it. This has been tough for old Objosoft here. So of course I got Tears of the Kingdom, which really got me some points. Final Fantasy 16 did well for me as well. Fire Emblem Engage, that did pretty decently. And unfortunately, Redfall was on my list. My thought process was, people really love Arcane. I think this will probably do well. Why not? No, it didn't do well. And then Suicide Squad's not coming out, so that's a big flat 0 for me. I'm kind of glad that's not coming out because I get the feeling that would have been negative points. So I'll just take the 0 for that one. Unfortunately, I did counterpick Hogwarts Legacy, which wiped out a decent amount of points for me too. So I have 36 points. And we'll look at Sky 85's now. He is easily destroying all of us.
Yeah, so my strategy was to just pick very safe and just pick titles that people like and enjoy.
Completely soulless.
Yeah, and it turns out it works. Everything that I drafted last time earned me points. The worst one was Wild Hearts, which earned me 9 points. But
what's your opinion of Wild Hearts as a Monster Hunter YouTuber? I bet you love that one.
Yeah, it's great. Probably never gonna finish it because it's that great. Yeah, everything earned me points. My counter pick, Mars After Midnight, is also very, very safe pick.
That's a great counter pick.
Probably never gonna get reviewed.
But you
added it to the website, which is, that gives me hope.
There's hope. Isn't it coming up for the play date or something?
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm thinking that was a good pick for old Sky 85 here. I'm thinking we got a good one there. But all of your games have come out, so you got to add some new games to your list. Neither of us have all of our games completed, mine being Spider-Man 2. Pikmin 4 comes out next week, but just missed it. Forza and Stellar Blade, which is supposed to come out this year, but doesn't have a date. But all your games are out. I don't know if you meant to do that, but it worked out quite nicely there. So we're going to start with the draft. We'll let Clardonix go first. It's over on the left side. The
Make a bid.
make a bid. So Just talk about your first game. We're not going to have a nice visual representation. Maybe I'll put up something on screen of like some artwork for it or something. But what is your first pick?
All right, my first pick is. Oh well, I'm just seeing now the release date is early 2024, so this might not be a good idea.
No, I mean that'll get you a 0. It's not coming out this year, so.
Okay, well then let me do my second pick that I had, which was the Plucky Squire, which
Okay.
is a
That one looks
Volvo
good.
Digital published. Let's see, bid amount. I'm gonna do $1, right? Because
Yeah, just do whatever.
Oh,
We're not bothering with the
yeah, but
outbidding.
Plucky Squire, it's got a really cool like aesthetic. I think it'll be received well.
Okay, I think that's a good pick. I think the aesthetic looks cool and I think there's like a lot of hype for it. There's a lot of goodwill towards it. It looks good, so I think that's a solid pick. It's not a Mars After Midnight type pick, so that's your first pick here. We're moving down to me for my first pick. I'm going to pick Armored Core 6. I think that that's just a good pick from Software. Obviously has their fans, and I think that Armored Core 6 is a pretty easy pick, some easy points for me. So I've chosen Armored Core 6. Any thoughts on that one?
Yeah,
Comes
I
out
mean,
in
I don't
August.
think that's not gonna flop. You get like Armored Core fans, and then you get like the Elden Ring fans. They're all gonna come together and probably buy that. So
Yeah, I think easy pick. Comes out in August, so pretty, immediate returns for me. Don't have to wait too long. I think it's going to be big, and I have no reason to doubt. I'm kind of going off of like, what are some proven studios that can put something cool out, or what are some projects that look cool? And From Software is about as proven as it gets, so I'm gonna go with them. All right, we're doing a snake draft, so Sky85 gets 2 picks, so let's hear them.
All right, I get 2 picks. So we're just gonna go these 2 picks are just gonna be the entirely Mario. So
Ooh.
first one will just be Super Mario Brothers Wonder. I'll put in a nice $5 on that one.
And we're putting in $1, and
and-
you're like, I'm really locking this shit down.
I'm locking this in. And then Super Mario RPG Remake.
Okay, both good choices.
Once again, playing it safe. Ideally, I want to pick something that has a release date for this year, and not just one that says like
Coming
yeah.
Q3,
I don't even
Q4.
I don't even. It's not even on this, as far as I saw it.
Super Mario
But yeah,
Bros. Wonder.
this-
Is that what you're saying?
but
It's
yeah,
not on the list.
No, the Peach game is not on
Oh.
the.
Yeah, that doesn't
on
even
the
have a
thing.
name. They said 2024 for that anyway. Yeah, we did the reaction to the Nintendo Direct where that was announced. Both the Mario games. I'm pretty excited for them. I'm going to get both of those. I think Mario Wonder looks really nice. I kind of like how it has like a... I don't know. It doesn't look like the plasticky new Super Mario Brothers look. It looks really cool, and it looks really unique. I feel like... I don't know. I feel like Mario's been pretty... 2D Mario has been pretty stale for a while, so it looks like this is changing it up, and I think it could be good. I think it's a very safe pick to do that. Any other thoughts on Super Mario Wonder before we talk about Mario RPG?
well, I just want to say this is a nice segue into Mario RPG. I don't want to start drama, but I think it is a little cheap choosing Dead Space remake and Mario RPG remake because it's like we
Ooh,
already
shots
know.
fired, and Resident Evil 4
Um,
remake he has on his list too.
Yeah, I know. They're basically like these games already exist.
Hey, once
Hmm.
again, like Resident Evil 4 remake 92 score. Dead Space remake 89.
I
You
don't
know,
think you win anything
it
if you
works.
actually win.
Yeah, the real soulless picks here. How many of these games have
Yeah,
you
I'm-
played on
I'm
your
here to
list,
win.
Mr. Sky 85? How many games on this list have you
How,
played?
how many games have I played on this list?
Yeah, how many of your
exactly 1.
and it was Wild Hearts, the worst one. This man's a fraud.
Precisely 1.
This man's a fraud. Okay. Mario RPG. I think I don't know if they've who's developing it. I don't think they've said yet. Is it like Grezzo doing it, or is it someone like a Square Enix team, or is Nintendo in-house? I don't know if we know who's developing the Mario RPG remake, but I think it looks fun. I think it looks cool, and I'm looking forward to it. I like how they kind of kept in the spirit of the original art style. I think they maybe could have done a little bit more, like make it maybe look like a claymation style or something, like maybe make it look a little bit more distinct, but I think it looks good. I think it'll be a good time. But I mean, Mario, I'll give it that. Mario RPG is a proven thing. We already know it's good. So, any other thoughts on Mario RPG remake?
I don't think so.
Nope, your turn.
Okay, so back to me for my picks. So those two are on my short list. I figured they would get chosen, but I think my next one I'm going to pick here is Persona 5 Tactica. I just think that it's probably a safe pick. It's not. It'll be an easy mid 80s. It's not going to be bad. There's not going to be anything that's brings it down. Like they're not going to put out a flop. So I'm going to put in Persona 5 Tactica on my list. I am going to bid $1 whole on it because that's all that really matters. And this is the choice I've made. So any thoughts on that one? I think it's going to be good. It looks fun.
Is it like an XCOM style thing?
Yeah, it's like a grid-based tactics game. So I think it looks good. I think it's Atlas rarely does wrong with what actually making their games. They get almost everything else wrong, but when it comes to making their games, they do pretty well. Yeah, pretty much. Sky85, you have any thoughts on Persona 5 Tactica?
Nope, that was in my watch list, and it got chosen, of course.
Okay. So we're going to get another snake draft. 2 more picks for Clardonix here.
All right, my next game. I think most of these you've probably never heard of before. My next game is called Cocoon.
Okay, I haven't heard of this one.
The easiest way to describe it is it's developed by like one of the lead designers of Limbo.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they like split up the 2 developers.
Yeah, those like platform story-based kind of games. So, I can't imagine that's gonna be bad.
Well,
and it looks pretty good too.
When they split up, they both made their own studios. Didn't the one guy put out that game that people didn't like, Somerville?
Yeah, well, hopefully this is the good half that's making Cocoon.
Okay. Well, we'll have to wait and see. Does that have a release date, or is it just saying this year?
I don't know if it was definitive. I mean, it's got like promotional art and stuff, so hopefully it's on like the last leg of development.
Okay. So what's your second pick?
All right, my second pick is called Gecko Gods.
Okay. That sounds sick, dude.
It's like what Stray was for the cat people.
Oh, Gecko guys are rising up?
Yeah, this is like the game for the gecko people.
All of the gecko people out there. A lot of them.
I know, all 2 of them. Well, they're going to love it, though, so it's a good strategy.
Yeah, well, the 2 gecko reviewers are going to give this game both 10s, and you might get a nice 100. That'll be a good payout.
There you go.
Okay. So 2 more picks. Any other thoughts on wasn't familiar with any of those games, but good to highlight other games there. Is Overboat on here?
No,
It is not.
it would be funny to add my game, but it's probably like a guaranteed 0 because I don't think anyone would review.
It's like
review it
insider
if it comes
trading
out.
too.
Yeah, exactly.
You could be like, yeah,
It's
it's
like a
it's coming out this
conflict of
year, and then you
interest.
just push it out this year no matter what. Okay. So back to me for my pick then. I got to keep track of how many. This is everyone's 3rd pick coming around because we're getting 7 picks here. I don't want to pick another one on accident. I think now that I'm in here, I'm going to pick Alan Wake 2. I think that this is just a good pick. Alan Wake's a pretty well-liked game, and Remedy has been doing well, except for that. What is that game? I forget that. What is that? Oh, God. They did that game for Xbox that was really bad. based off of like one of the popular Korean um, online games. They made a single player that was bad. Anyway, but I mean, with like Control, people like that. People like the first Alan Wake, so I think Alan Wake 2 is a safe pick. Do we have any thoughts?
Not really. I mean, when did the first Alan Wake come out?
I think like 2010, so it's been a while.
Yeah.
Some pent up demand for it. What they showed at the Game Awards looked pretty nice. It looked high fidelity. It looked like a good. They're going for more of a survival horror route this time around. So, less of whatever the first one was, like more of an adventure game type game, and more of like a survival horror. So, those games have been doing pretty well, and I have no reason to think that this won't be some solid points. So let's hear this next two from Sky85. Oh, if you have something before we go to him.
Oh, I was just gonna say this. That just reminded me of Beyond Good and Evil 2, which I don't think anyone should pick because I don't know if that game's ever coming out.
That's not coming out. Let's be real. That game doesn't exist. I wouldn't pick that in my 2028 list because I wouldn't think it's going to come out.
Good for the Alan Wake people actually making a sequel.
Yeah, they did it. All right, Sky85, we have any?
All right.
Any more?
So we are going to pick. Like a Dragon, Gaiden, the man who erased his name.
Okay.
Like a Dragon, Ishin did decently well for me, and I don't think the Yakuza games are pretty well received in general. So
yeah, I mean they're not going to put out. They put out a lot of them, and they're not going to put out anything that's below, getting points. It's not going to lose you points. It's pretty stable investment there.
Exactly. And then I'll also pick. We'll do Dragon Quest Monsters: The Dark Prince.
Oh, okay.
Once again.
Okay, interesting choice. What makes you go for that one?
I don't know. It's Dragon Quest.
It's Dragon Quest, baby.
I think that game actually looks cool because like you would think like the monster taming community would just have like a huge pool of games that they get to like play and stuff, but I feel like it's really not that like those games aren't very abundant, so it's cool to see like another monster taming game.
Yeah, there was a DS series, Dragon Quest Monsters. There was 2 of them on the DS. Or no, there was one on the Game Boy Color too, or Game Boy. Yeah. So it's been a while since we saw those.
Far. I think it actually. I could be wrong on this, but I think it might predate Pokemon.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, you're right about like monster taming games because there is like Slime Rancher right now, and that's about it. Like I don't know. Some good picks there. Anything else to say? Should mention Alan Wake 2 and Like a Dragon Gaiden are both digital only games. Will this affect their reviews? Will there be some rogue game reviewer that doesn't like that it's not on a disc and will, give it a 2 or something?
I don't know. I don't want to go off on a tangent, but I feel like I don't know why people buy physical, like, I guess it's for different reasons, but like if your argument for buying physical is like game preservation or something, it's like, I don't know. I think so many games are going to be lost, in 100 years anyway, so just enjoy the games while you have them.
Yeah, I mean, the game that's on a disc anyway, if they even bother putting out a disc and it's not just an unlock, is, not always... It's not going to be patched or everything, so even if you preserve the game, it's preserved in a less than stellar state.
End up in a antique shop and they're going to be like horribly scratched.
Yeah, I see that all the time. I see it all the time. So, as for my next pick, so I'm picking something that Clardonix might pick here. I'm going to pick Sea of Stars. I don't know if that was on your list.
That was going to be my next pick.
Oh, I don't know. This is the guys. What was that game? The Messenger. They did the Messenger, and now they're making like a Chrono Trigger inspired RPG. I don't want to like call it nostalgia bait and be like disparaging, but they're definitely like trying to, get people excited about like old school. Yeah, it's definitely retro inspired. Looks like a Chrono Trigger type and I think it looks really good. So I think that's just a safe one to put on the list. I think they'll do well, and yeah. So that was pick number 5 for me, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. I'm just trying to keep track so we don't go on forever and pick games that
Was
don't.
it 4 or 5? I don't know.
I thought that was 4.
That might be 4.
I'm trying to think. That would have been 4, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Well,
dipping into my game selection a little bit here. All right, let's see. My next game is going to be Pepper Grinder.
Peppa
It's a cool
Pig.
little Peppa Pig. Yep, it's a tie-in. No, Pepper Grinder is it seems pretty cool. You have like a little drill, and it's like fast-paced platformer sort of thing. So I think it's a pretty safe pick. I think they've like shown it off at
Oh, I've seen this one. This one looks really cool.
yeah, they've like shown it off at game conventions and stuff. So I think it seems pretty legitimate. It's not like super obscure. And then my next pick, I'm gonna do Anton Blast, which is very much in the vein of like the Wario Land games. It's pretty similar to Pizza Tower, and in fact, they even like on social media, those two developers kind of like joke with each other because it's like they're pretty similar concepts. So
Okay. Sounds intriguing. Anything else to say before we move on?
I don't think so. No.
Okay. So my next pick. I think this is a risky one. This is riskier than I think it should be. But I'm going to go for it. I got burned by Starfield or by Bethesda already. I just spoiled it. But I'm going to go for Starfield. They
You're, like,
owe me.
predicting the future.
They owe me.
By Starfish.
Yeah, well, you could just take this clip and then when we in the year in review at the end of the year, just do you can just have that clip play. I don't know. I think there's a lot of No Man's Sky going on with this game right now. I think a lot of guys out there being like, this is going to be the best game ever made. It's going to be insane. It's going to change my life. And I don't think it's going to do that. And I don't trust Bethesda Game Studios to make a game like that.
No.
But, you know, I think these games have their crowd. And I don't think this is going to be a Fallout 76 type nightmare. If anything, it'll be closer to like a Fallout 4 review score, which will still get me some decent points. But this is risky. This is probably the riskiest pick of the year. Just because this could be, you know, another Redfall type thing, or it could be a 90. You know, we never know. We don't know what this is going to be. And there's some excitement for it. You know, it's pretty much the first big Xbox exclusive that doesn't suck for this generation. And when I say big, I mean like, you know, AAA huge title, not like Hi-Fi Rush, which looks pretty cool. But I don't know. I think it's risky, but I think it could pay out.
Yeah, I think the shipbuilding mechanics and stuff like that look really cool. But then they show you going down to a planet and like shooting people. It just looks like Call of Duty. Like there's aspects of it that look great, and then there's aspects of it that look terrible. So who knows?
Well, they're like there's 1,000 planets or whatever, and it's like, but how many
yeah,
of them
yeah,
are gonna have nothing
procedural.
on it?
Exactly. Well, I think they even came out and said like very few of the planets are actually populated with people.
Yeah, I mean that just seems like a waste of time to me. But I think it could be good. Like I think
It's a good pick then.
it could be a good. My glowing review of this could be suck. This could suck. It could be a waste of time. I don't know. I picked it. I'll believe it when I see it. I'm not like hating on this game. I don't want to hate on it because it could be good, but I'll believe it when I see it. I just don't have faith in Bethesda, and I don't know if I trust. I don't know if I trust it yet. We'll see. Let's get your next 2 picks.
All right, we're sort of digging in the bottom of the barrel for me. We're just gonna pick Mortal Kombat 1.
Oh, that's a good pick. I don't really think that's bottom of the barrel. I think that'll get good reviews.
Yeah, I think you know, it takes place in a brand new universe. I think that's what the guy said, which means they'll get a 99. So
Brand new universe.
we're betting a
The brand new
a
universe.
brand new universe.
Okay. I mean, I think it's.
don't know why they call it Mortal Kombat 1 when it's like the 90th Mortal Kombat game, but
Well, we don't want to
uh,
confuse it with Mortal Kombat from the Super Nintendo,
uh,
Sega Genesis, and we don't want to confuse it with Mortal Kombat for the 360 and PS3. So we added a 1 because it's a brand new universe.
yeah, it's a brand new universe. And uh, continuing with the remakes, I'm picking Star Ocean: The Second Story R.
Yes, Claude C. Kenny, let's go.
Just simply because Claude C. Kenny is just funny.
That's a great
Um,
name. That name is
like
so
why,
funny. I don't know why.
Why the middle initial? Why the middle initial C? Why is the last name a first name?
It's so good. His name
I
should
like
have
to
been like
think that
Kenny C. Claude, and they messed it up.
I like to think that the C middle initial just stands for Claude C. Kenny itself. So it just keeps repeating.
For the audience, this has been a meme since that Nintendo Direct where they showed that off, and I'll just like text him out of the blue, and it'll just say like Claude C. Kenny and nothing else. Dude, I love Claude C. Kenny. Yeah, I think that Star Ocean remake looks really cool, actually. So it's that 2D HD, but it's a little bit different, where it's like sprites in a 3D world. I think it looks really cool, and yeah, I think that's a solid choice. So we picked your next two. That was you're up to 5 now?
That should be 6.
That should be 6, so I'm going in for my 6. So my next pick, I'm going to go a little bit sicko mode on this one. And because I just think it has to be done. I think this one has to be chosen. I'm going to pick, for no reason whatsoever, Detective Pikachu Returns.
Oh.
Oh no.
I don't. The Pokemon freaks are out here. They'll give it a 10 out of 10. I don't care.
Okay, it could be a great game, but visually, I just think it looks terrible. I don't know what happened in the graphics department, but it just does not.
It looks
very
like the
good.
3DS game, but like on the 3DS and not even ported over.
My theory is they developed it for the 3DS, and then the 3DS no longer has support, so they just ported it to Switch without really doing any graphical overhaul.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like just it's a Pokemon. Is a Pokemon game ever gotten below a 70 on Metacritic in the long run?
They might start getting it.
They arguably they should have been getting them for a while, but have they? The answer is probably not. So I'm in for it. I'm putting all my chips on Detective Pikachu Returns. I love the absolute forlorn nature of me picking that, and you're just going, oh, you're like truly dead inside.
I have like no idea what you're gonna pick, and then you just drop that on us.
I wanted to hype it up for like the worst thing possible.
You know what? It's probably gonna be better than Starfield, so I'll give it that.
If that gets a higher review than Starfield, I'm gonna go sicko mode. I don't know about that.
All right, so my next pick. Some of these games I actually just learned about today because I was trying to do research, and this one is called She Dreams Elsewhere.
For some reason, I thought you were gonna say She-Hulk. Continue.
Yeah, She-Hulk, the show they're making a video game spin-off, the beloved TV show. No, She Dreams Elsewhere is made by the developer of Omori, which is like one of the big games that was made in RPG Maker. I feel like it'll appeal to a similar crowd as like the Earthbound fans, the Undertale fans. So, and I think honestly the art style looks really cool. So.
Okay. Could be. I've not heard of that one, but I think it could be something interesting there.
Omori?
Yeah, I know Omori.
Yeah, so, I think it's pretty safe. And then I'm going to do Botany Manor, which is you're inside a manor and you're doing botany. That's basically all I know about the game, but
Okay.
I think for the people that like, I feel like it's a different vibe than the farming games, which are maybe a little bit tired.
Yeah, there's too many farming games. Every Nintendo Direct has 3 farming games, and they look like
way too many
half of them look
cozy.
like, what's that one, Fae Farm? That looks like a bad Farmville. It looks like Fortnite Farmville. It looks terrible.
Yeah, too many cozy farming games.
Yeah, I don't want to be cozy while I'm gaming. I want to be completely sweaty heart rate at 200,
Well,
200 BPM heart rate.
I think Botany Manor's the game for you then.
Oh, okay. Then I'm in. I am completely in there.
If growing plants raises your heart rate, then yeah.
All right, I'm going to pick this one. This is another maybe risky one. The stupid Ubisoft Avatar game. The Avatar Fry game? Far Cry. The Avatar Far Cry. I don't care one bit about this, but I don't know. It's filler.
You know, every time I see Avatar, it makes me think of The Last Airbender, which is like leaps and bounds better than the James Cameron Avatar.
Did you see the
property.
Avatar game that's coming out? Last Airbender game that's coming out? Don't get excited. It's from Game Mill, and it looks terrible. But they are putting out a new Avatar game, I think, this year. So it's not gonna be good, but I don't get how like some of these like legacy media, like they see how they could, you know, make some decent money off of a quality game like a Batman or a, you know, Batman Arkham or like Spider-Man or something. And if you just pick the right studio and you make a good game with it. But then like some of these like legacy things are like, oh yeah, we have Avatar, which is pretty well liked, and we're just going to give it to whoever the schmucks at Game Mill can, you know, conjure up to make this game for 5 cents, and it's going to sell, you know, 10,000 copies, and then that's all we need to do. Like, I don't get why we can't, like, even the SpongeBob games recently have been good, and those are just handled over at THQ Nordic, and it's like, why don't you just do that with like your IP instead of just like wasting it on terrible developers? I don't get that. But that was a rant there. Any thoughts on Avatar, whatever the game's called, by Ubisoft? Comes out in December. That's a resounding no, if I've ever heard one.
We're just gonna do Jackbox Party Pack 10.
Does that count? It's a yearly
I have
installment. Is that eligible?
I have nothing. I mean, it's in the list of games I can get, so
okay, go for it.
I'm just gonna go for it. I mean, unless like all the games in this party pack is just garbage.
I don't know. The last party pack wasn't very good.
Which it's possible. The last party pack wasn't very good, but when I was looking it up, party pack 9 got an 81, so
okay,
you know, not bad.
Okay.
It will hopefully at least earn me some points.
I feel like we're like a different breed of people. We like scrutinize the Jackbox games probably more than the average Jackbox player.
We don't want the normie games. We want the terrible games where we make terrible jokes that aren't funny to anyone but us.
Yeah, exactly.
Then there's like these normie games that you play at like I don't know, like a college dorm room party or something, like the get to know each other party. Or you play it, I don't know, like a youth group plays, and we're like, I don't want this crap. I want the games where I can make stupid jokes. I don't know. We're not the target audience for Jackbox.
No.
But
we probably play it more than anybody else.
I know. Any other thoughts on that one before we continue?
No, let's hear the next pick.
Okay, the next pick is probably a risky one. This is just going to be Sonic Superstars.
Okay. I mean,
I don't think that's risky at all. Isn't that the one that looks good?
It does look
pretty good. However, it is developed by Arzest, and Arzest made Balan Wonderworld. Okay. So,
but isn't Sonic's creator like working with like the development team?
Yeah, so Sonic Team is working. Sonic's creator is in jail, but for insider trading.
Yeah.
But you know, he hasn't been with Sega since 2006 or something. So
I thought someone who worked on the original Sonic games was working on
Sonic Team is working on the game with Arzest, and I think it does look good, but looking good from, you know, a couple different things, and then having actually good level design and being good is a little bit different. But I don't think that's that risky. I think that it's not going to be anything lower than a 70 unless it's like Sonic Boom or something.
Yeah, I don't. Hopefully, I'm not. It's not going to be as bad as like Forces or Boom or whatever.
No.
It's harder to mess up 2D Sonic than it is. I mean, they messed up 2D Sonic with Sonic 4 episodes 1 and 2, but you know, it's harder to mess up 2D Sonic, and at least from the outset, you can look at Sonic 4 and be like, this isn't right. But from the outset on this one, it looks good, so I think it'll be fine.
I like his design too. I haven't liked his design in any of the 3D games, but this one I think he looks good.
You don't like it when his arms are blue, don't you? Is that it?
I don't like it when his arms are like 2 times longer than they should be.
I like classic Sonic's design. I think it's cute. Like, I don't really
Exactly.
like it when Sonic is like tall and lanky. It's kind of unsettling.
No.
But
Exactly.
any other thoughts on your picks before we move on?
Nope. That should be my 8th game, right?
Is that your 8th game?
My current bids.
We'll come back
That's
to you
8.
for one more pick, and then we'll do counter picks. So my next pick here, I'm gonna just pick this one. I'm a little bit wary if this will come out, but it's supposed to. Eiyuden Chronicles, 100 Heroes. So this is the game that is coming out from the original creators of the Suikoden series. They're back. They crowdfunded this. They did their whole thing. Kind of the if Konami won't do it, we'll do it type thing. And it looks good. I don't know. I think it could be good. So I'm going to go for Eiyuden Chronicles, whatever it's called, 100 Heroes. Any thoughts?
Not really. Man,
No.
I think the Japanese market, they just like eat up these RPGs. I've like never heard of most of these games.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll just be a nice little game. Don't have any reason for it to think it's not going to be good.
I have
So
no idea what to choose because
so many good
I ran
options.
out of picks. Let's just throw in Hades 2.
Okay.
I did not play Hades 1, but I know Hades 1 is like beloved, so
Yeah, I didn't even realize that was coming out this year.
if it does come out this year, there
Okay.
should be some good points, but I'm not sure if it will.
Okay.
But there's 2 roguelikes back to back for my final picks.
All right. So my final pick is the Switch port of Lord of the Rings Gollum. Let's go, guys.
Is it really?
No, that's not my. That would be suicide, dude.
Aw.
The game on real
Imagine.
console's got a 33 or something. The Switch
Wait, I
version's
thought
probably
the
gonna get like a.
studio Didn't the studio shut down? Can they even port it now?
I don't. Well, the publisher's still there, but I'm gonna assume they probably outsourced to the Switch port to a different company anyway. But the Switch port's gonna be like. If the regular game like I got it like a 37 or whatever it got, the Switch port's gonna be like a 25. That's not my pick. My last pick is that game Lies of P, the Pinocchio
Oh,
Dark Souls game.
No.
I was almost gonna choose that. I like watched footage of that, and honestly, it looks like a good game. It's just kind of, goofy that it's about Pinocchio.
Yeah, it's Korean developed Pinocchio Dark Souls inspired game. It has some good buzz around it. I'm a little concerned. I have a theory about Xbox Game Pass, and it's not always true, and it's probably not with this game. But they don't, third parties don't typically dump games that they think are going to do well on Xbox Game Pass. They just kind of take the money and run, and so you get some games that are not so hot. But I think a smaller studio probably saw that and was like, we're not going to sell this much on Xbox anyway. Let's just take the money. It'll get us to our next project. So I think that's probably fair enough to think that this will be pretty solid. And
Well-
that's my final pick, is it not?
It's heavily inspired by Bloodborne, and that was a PlayStation exclusive. So I feel like this might be Microsoft trying to like grab that little part of the market.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I think it looks good. That's not really my type of game, but I think it looks really good. I think the studio is like a new studio, so.
For all the Pinocchio fans from the Shrek franchise, it's like
Yeah, it's that Pinocchio, the Shrek Pinocchio specifically,
Rated
that they're
M.
putting in there. Any thoughts on Lies of P? Anyone else? I'm going to take that as a no. Is that my final pick then?
Yeah, it should be. You can check your current bids. Count it to 9.
Okay, I should probably do that. You go ahead. Your next one, your final one, Sky 85.
Yeah, I just have nothing to say about this one. This is kind of a throwaway. I'm just gonna pick Assassin's Creed Mirage. I don't even care. I don't even care. You guys can groan all you want.
I love
I'm
the
putting in $2.99 on
the
this
two
one.
Ubisoft games that are picked for this time around. We both are just like, I don't even care. Just I'm putting it on my list as filler. It's like the absolute disrespect. But we picked two Ubisoft games and both of us just replied like, I don't care.
Oh shoot! Wait, I should have chose. I can't go back, but I was like looking at pictures of Assassin's Creed Mirage, and I was like, oh, I should have picked the Prince of Persia game.
Oh, the 2D one, yeah.
It's
That would have been
I
a
don't
good
even know if
pick.
it's there.
It might not be there, but oh, it's coming out 2024. Okay, never
Oh,
mind.
okay.
Good.
Okay, so let's we're into counter pick territory. So let's go back to the top and start over. We're going to pick two counter picks. And we're not going to so the counter picks right now, if it's something that was originally on the person's list, go ahead and pick it, but since the games aren't in yet, we're going to have to wait to put the counter picks in, but we can at least talk about the counter picks. So if it, like, for example, if someone on my list wanted to counterpick Stellar Blade, because it might not come out this year, you could counterpick that. But if you wanted to counterpick like Persona 5 Tactica, since it's not on my list until the bids process, it we'll have to wait until it's through and then just put it in post. But so let's start Clardonics. We'll just go around and pick your two counter picks of something off someone's list.
So am I doing this like actually in the interface, or am I just talking about it?
Just talk about it.
I think I want to counter pick Starfield.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, I really just I don't have faith in Bethesda, and they're just developing so much, and it's like I don't know, they just don't seem very focused anymore, and the procedural generation I think is going to be like a death blow to that game, unfortunately.
Nothing will beat
And
Oblivion.
then, maybe. And then my other pick, I'm trying to like remember what's on everyone's list. Probably Sky 5. Can you give me like a rundown of your games just real fast?
Yeah, I guess we probably
Let,
should have done a rundown. So let's do a rundown of our picks real quick. If you want to start your Sky 85, and then we'll go to mine and then his.
yeah, I'll start with mine. I have Super Mario RPG Remake, Super Mario Wonder, Like a Dragon Gaiden: The Man Who Erased His Name, Dragon Quest Monsters: The Dark Prince, Mortal Kombat 1, Star Ocean: The Second Story R, Jackbox Party Pack 10, Sonic Superstars, Assassin's Creed Mirage.
Okay, so I'll go through mine. There's one obvious one I think you're going to want to counterpick on my list, but Armored Core 6, Persona 5 Tactica, Alan Wake 2, Sea of Stars, Starfield, Detective Pikachu Returns, Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora, Eiyuden Chronicles 100 Heroes, and Lies of P. You want to give your current list that we did today?
Yeah, let me go through my list and then I'll do my last counter pick. So my games are The Plucky Squire, Cocoon, The Gecko Gods, Pepper Grinder, Anton Blast, She Dreams Elsewhere, Botany Manor, Hyperlight Breaker, and Hades 2. Good luck remembering those.
Okay.
So I want Assassin's Creed for my.
Oh, dude, I thought you were going to pick Detective Pikachu for sure.
Assassin's Creed's going to be worse than Detective Pikachu. I think I'm pretty confident in that.
Okay. So we're on to my counter picks now, it would seem.
Maybe we should have done this one at a time, but whatever.
Yeah. So as far as counter picks, I mean, we're already here. It doesn't really matter. As far as counter picks, I hate the fact that my list is the most counter pickable. But I want to do a couple risky counter picks, but I'm not sure. I think my first counter pick, I'm going to go back to the original list, and I'm going to counter pick. I'm going to counter pick this game Nine Souls as my easy one before I get to my tough one. I don't know what this is, and I'm going to counter pick this because I don't know what it is, and there's a good chance that maybe it doesn't come out. You know, maybe it doesn't get reviewed, but I'm going to counterpick Nine Souls. Other than that, my tough one, this could pay off, and this could not pay off. This could be detrimental if it happens. I'm going to counterpick Silksong.
I was going to pick that.
Because it might not come out.
I'm thinking it's an easy, I don't have to lose points. See, counterpicking is all about finding the things that aren't going to make you lose points. And if if someone's dumb enough to to pick Golem or something, then you make a bunch of points off of it. But I think that Silksong has a chance it won't come out this year, so I figured that would be a good pick for me. But any other thoughts?
But imagine how devastated you're gonna be if it comes out like fall or winter this year.
Then I'll be screwed. I mean, it's going to be bad, but I also think
It's gonna be like
I don't trust that it's going to come out.
Indie game of the year.
I don't trust it's going to come out.
They've
I don't trust it
for so long.
Okay. They can work on it longer until 2024, and when I won't counterpick it next year. All right, Skytify, let's hear those counterpicks.
I was gonna go risky and pick Silksong.
Dude, just look at my list for counterpickable games, because I have some real counterpickable ones.
Can you go over your list again?
Happily. I would love to be able to do that. My Armored Core 6, Persona 5 Tactica, Alan Wake 2, Sea of Stars, Starfield, which was already counterpicked, Detective Pikachu Returns, Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, Eiyuden Chronicles 100 Heroes, Lies of P.
Man, I think this is a risky one, but I will do Detective Pikachu.
I don't know if it's that risky. I feel like this game is going to get a 74, and you'll lose 4 points.
Yeah.
You can afford
But
to
at the
lose
same time,
points, by the way.
At the same time, it's still Pokemon. So it could also get like an 80.
My brother in Christ, you have
points.
more than 100 points more than anybody else. You will still win.
But all my games are released.
I know, but you're still safe to maybe go and lose it. I don't think, even if it's an 80, you'll only lose 10 points. It's like not that big of a deal. I mean, I lost 14 on Hogwarts Legacy, so. You have a second pick?
A second pick.
What's your second counter pick?
I mean, that
I never really thought.
The Avatar game looks tempting.
It is very tempting. What is that game called again? Avatar
something. Frontiers of Pandora, I think it's called.
It's like Sonic Frontiers.
Yeah.
Okay. This game's looking... yeah,
I think it's probably an easy counter pick.
You know, you could also
you're baiting me. You're baiting me.
I think you should counter pick Marvel Spider-Man 2. I think that one's going to be pretty horrible.
I have like Animal Well that might not come out this year.
You didn't get that one though, did you?
Oh,
no, you didn't end up choosing.
Yeah, you're not allowed.
I don't know, man. I mean, who knows?
I mean, I'm
Pikmin
also...
4 could be the worst game ever made.
Yeah. Hyper Light Breaker is weird too because it's coming out like in early access, so I don't know when exactly it will release officially.
Yeah, I'm just looking at what people picked, and if it has like a release date, like a set release date. But yeah, I could do Hades too, but if it comes out
I mean, that
this
would
year,
be
I'm,
about
like,
the same
screwed.
tier as my Hollow Knight.
It would be about the same tier. Screw it. We'll do the Avatar game.
Yeah, that's probably safe.
I will do the Avatar
I mean,
game just because.
it's either. I mean, Avatar will probably get an 82 or something, or an 80. Realistically, unless it's like a real dumpster fire. But I don't know. I think that's probably a safe pick. But that's it. That's the second part of this. We have drafted our games for the rest of the year. Discussed some of our more anticipated games, discussed some of our less anticipated games, and I think this is going to be interesting to see how it goes down because we have a lot of space to catch up to Sky 85, but all his games are out. Not all of our games are out. So I think we got some good picks, maybe some less than good picks, but overall I think that went well. So any final things to say as we sign off here? You can tell people where to find you. Let's start with our Clardonics over here. Any final words, and how do people find you? What do you do?
Well, I'll just say I'm probably gonna lose this thing because considering 2 of my games have come out. But it's been a blast so far. So you can find me on Twitter, Cardonics, or you can look up my game Overbode, which will be coming out, fingers crossed, this year on Steam and itch.io. So
excellent. I wish that was on here. I would have drafted that one.
You would have counterpicked it.
I would have counterpicked it and then been like, "Come on, dude, you don't need to work on your game. Why don't we go do something right now? Why don't we hang out?" And then just like got you to not put the game out. I played the log game.
Yeah,
all right, Sky 85, where do we find you?
Put a flash drive in my computer and like install a virus.
Delete the game while you're not looking. Like, I gotta go to the bathroom real quick, man. Just go in and delete the game. Yeah. All right, Sky 85, where do we find you?
All right, you can find me on YouTube, Sky85. I'm mainly a Monster Hunter YouTuber, and mainly make Sword and Shield content for Monster Hunter,
How come you
particularly
didn't
Monster Hunter
pick
Rise. So
Monster Hunter now for your list?
I would have, but it wasn't on there. So
Dang.
unfortunately,
Isn't it a mobile game?
Yeah,
couldn't
it's like
pick
their
it.
Pokemon Go.
Yeah, it's a Pokemon. It's made by Niantic. It's gonna be Pokemon Go, but Monster Hunter. So yeah, unfortunately couldn't pick it. Very sad.
Are you? Are you
yeah.
gonna play the game?
Yeah, I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna record footage and I'm gonna post it on YouTube and dox myself, dox my
Do it.
location and everything. And yeah, so
You just like show your address, like the front of your house, and like perfect 4K, and be like, "Oh, look, there's a Rathalos right here in my front yard," and then, "Oh, look by the number plate right here is this character," and then you have like your driver's license just like sitting on like the ground with your social security card, and you're like, "Hey, check it out! Look, my Palamute is right running around." You just like
a Monster Hunter YouTuber was arrested this morning for trespassing on private property.
I like to think that's like your supervillain origin. You're like Sandman or something, where you walk in, you're playing Monster Hunter now, and you like walk into some like scientific testing zone and then just get like obliterated and turned into some like Monster Hunter supervillain. I think that's probably how it's going to go. Other than that, you can subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Leave a comment down below what you think about our lists, what you're looking forward to, if we had any good or bad picks on here. And follow me on Twitter at Gaming. And until next time, thank you for watching.